Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Next Generation discussion on the fallout from Boruto Chapter 80. And today, I wanted to take time out to address something I've seen a bit of a divide on in the fandom, from the comment section to some of the tweets that I've seen to a lot of the DMs that I've read following the release of the last few manga chapters. There appears to be two camps for the big Kawaki plot twist that we were given, where he sealed away Naruto and made everyone think that Boruto killed Naruto and Hinata, while also literally taking Boruto's life and living out his darkest desire to be Naruto's son instead of Boruto. There are those who are blaming Naruto for this, and there are those who are saying that Naruto should not be blamed for this, and it's led to a bunch of hot takes on both sides of the discussion. And at the risk of sounding cliche, I do think both sides make some strong points, so I wanted to weigh in and give you my opinion on it. This will not, however, be a video that deals with all the foreshadowing and the character progression of Kawaki that shows how between the anime and manga how we got to this point and why him betraying Naruto is inevitable, because I've already done a video on that topic that is more than just the surface level reasoning a lot of people say, which is like, bruh, we saw him say that he sealed Naruto in chapter 1, so duh, it was happening. If that's why you clicked on this video, that's not for this video here. I'll leave that video linked in the description box under video number 1 so you guys can watch that video and then come back to this one. So is there actually any merit to these two talking points of both of these discussions? Well, I do honestly think so, but I do believe the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Was this going to be inevitable? Absolutely. Does Naruto need to be above criticism and blame? Absolutely not, in my opinion. The truth lies somewhere in between both arguments, in my opinion. So the first argument is that Naruto deserves blame for all this happening, because at the end of the day, he was warned by Shikamaru and initially by half of the Kage, where they said that this was a bad idea. In particular, the Tsuchikage stated she had some reservations about Kawaki being in Konoha, despite knowing there was an enemy group after him. But knowing that Naruto was going to be guarding him, she conceded, and that came after Naruto gave his sermon about how he's been to the mountaintop, but he's also been a Jinchuriki his whole life and knows what it feels like to be hated by others and be treated as less than human, while Gaara was catching the holy spirit of Hagoromo while Naruto was talking, and while Darui was giving his casual noises and waving the book of Uzumaki in the air as Naruto touched the souls of the Kage. Shikamaru was watching in disbelief as the Kage sided with Naruto. As we all know, Naruto's decision to keep Kawaki close to him came both from a place of understanding as well as projection of his own past experiences onto Kawaki, and Naruto, having the high emotional intelligence that he has, was able to see Kawaki needed someone in his corner to show him love and what the human experience truly was like, that before his body was modified into a cyborg, he was a naturally born human, and despite his entire body being ninja tech, Kawaki is still a human as much as Naruto was as a Jinchuriki, despite both of them having fates and circumstances forced upon them that neither asked for. Just as Naruto never asked Minato to seal the Kyuubi into his body, Kawaki didn't ask his father to sell him to Jigen, who would then turn around and allow Amato to make Kawaki into a cyborg like the other Kara enters by subjecting him to experiments and eventually putting the Karma Seal onto Kawaki. In some ways, Kawaki had it worse because he was old enough to understand what it was that was happening to him, which in a way makes Kawaki's fate even worse than Naruto's when you think about it. However, on the other side, it does reflect some of Naruto's own hubris, that it shows his level of arrogance on his end. He knew the enemy was powerful. They took a elite Miss Jonin like Ao and they made him even stronger with ninja tech, and the mysterious Kashin Koji was able to fight off Konohamaru like it was nothing, and he would have killed him had not Boruto's karma taken effect. That underling Garo in his battle with Kawaki was enough for Konohamaru to state that this was an S-rank battle, a rank meant only for elite Jonin and battle powers that get high enough for one of the 5 Kage to have to intervene. Naruto saw the threat level and understood if a Konoha elite like Konohamaru stood no chance and was nearly killed, what could be assumed by a lower enemy member who engaged Konohamaru, that the safest place for Kawaki was for him and for him alone to watch him, so that Naruto could deal with the enemy when they popped up. It's why when Delta showed up, he told Ino to tell everyone to stay away. He wanted to minimize the risk at all costs. However, while correct, there is a level of arrogance to take up the enemy on your own without allowing for any backup. It's okay to be the sword and the shield for others, but you also need people at your back at the same time, with the exception being when he allowed the big boss boss Jigen to show up. Naruto in a way did make Konoha a magnet for Kara, and they did come to Konoha or into contact with Konoha shinobi in their attempt to take Kawaki, but realistically this was his only choice, which brings me to the argument for why Naruto shouldn't be blamed. Naruto listened to his gut as much as he did project his own circumstances growing up onto Kawaki. Naruto knew both that Kawaki needed love and not isolation and fear, which he would have received if he would have been locked away, because he would have been treated as less than human because people gave into fear at that point, but also that things would turn worse if Kawaki was locked away. Kawaki being locked away at a secure location managed by the 5 Kage would lead to someone like Delta just barging in and killing everyone, taking Kawaki, and Jigen would feed himself to the Tento, and Ishiki would be reborn using Kawaki's body and be at full power, which would lead to the planet being harvested, and even worse, Momoshiki would have been reborn into Boruto's body, leading to a power struggle between Ishiki and Momoshiki for the chakra fruit. That being said, Naruto does deserves some blame because he didn't recognize the signs that Shikamaru and Amato did about Kawaki's unnatural connection to Naruto, to the point where it gave all signs of being obsessive, something I said in one of my discussions before Shikamaru stated that line. By the time Naruto realized his good intentions low-key made a monster out of Kawaki, it was absolutely too late. Naruto's own son was dead, killed right in front of him as he begged Kawaki to stop. He no longer had the power to stand up against Kawaki, and now he couldn't even protect his own family. His son got killed in front of him, and when his wife smacked Kawaki after he said he finished the job because Hinata's motherly instincts correctly identified Kawaki as a predator who would harm her child, Naruto was unable to protect her, which led to both of them being sealed away, and now their child's being hunted down, something Hinata tried to prevent. Naruto does deserve some blame here. The signs were there and he did overlook them, but at the same time, not only was this the only path forward for Naruto, and because of that, it's an inevitable byproduct of it, but it's important to remember another truth about Naruto. Naruto very well could have noticed the signs that Kawaki was growing dangerously dependent and attached to him, but it's also part of Naruto's character to interact with others, especially those who society has given every reason to give up on, and to be the agent of change that puts them on the right path. It's in character for Naruto to see a boy like Kawaki and think, I can change him for the better. Even when all logic says his kid's too much damaged goods to be saved, it's not in character for him to turn away from that challenge. It's in character for Naruto to run to that challenge. It's why even after Kawaki killed Boruto and Naruto is crying, barely summoning up the strength to hold his son, and so grief-stricken that he couldn't even maintain his sage mode, Naruto was still pushed by Shikamaru, and when Shikamaru pushed too hard, Naruto called Kawaki family, despite the top of the mook level of a sin that Kawaki committed by killing Naruto's firstborn child. It's beautiful writing in the sense that Naruto's greatest strength in this instance actually became his Achilles heel. As the 48 Laws of Power says, every man has a thumbscrew, and Naruto's kindness and his love for his family is his thumbscrew. His need to see the good in people and try to bring that out, that is a thumbscrew for Naruto as much as it's a strength. I do think both sides have a good point here, but it's more so in the middle where we find the truth. I don't think either side is wrong. The truth ends up being in the middle. It also sets up another arc for Naruto and Kawaki's relationship, because when Kawaki inevitably comes to a point of redemption, Naruto's faith in Kawaki being able to be saved is going to be proven right when he does get redeemed. We've seen Naruto's willing to go to the edge of the extremes in order to save those who he cares about, regardless as to what lines they cross. And his commitment to saving Kawaki is no different than it was to save Sasuke. The only difference is that while Naruto has those strong feelings for Kawaki and wants to be a bridge for him to walk across to a better life that Kawaki deserves, Naruto learned the hard way that the time of him being the bridge for anyone is absolutely over. He's merely a very strong support pillar for the bridge that is Boruto, and Boruto is the one who has to finish the story with Kawaki, just as Naruto had to be the one who finished the story with Sasuke. That being said, I'm curious to know where you guys fall in this discussion. Is Naruto right for the stance he took with Kawaki, or does Naruto deserve all the blame for his own fate currently? While you think that over, click here to watch my every breathing style and Demon Slayer video.